America's three biggest banks, J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, charged more than 6 million ATM fees and overdraft fees in 2015, according to an analysis by SNL Financial and CNN Money. Why do we need to balance our checkbooks? It's important to balance your checkbook so that you know that you have something in your account, so that you know how much money you have to spend, so you know, so you're not using your checking account like it's a credit card. As a national mortgage licensed personal banker for Capital Bank, I've had many years of experience, many years of training to become a financial advisor in today's market. One thing that we always look at is how well your credit is, as something that we discussed previously. Your credit is also determined how you balance your checkbook, because that's things that they can look into. If you ever want an account with a bank, they usually go by check systems, and check systems usually determines if you have enough money in your account, or if you overdraw your account, or anything like that. You really need to learn how to balance your checkbook using a check register. A check register is what's really going to help you keep your numbers together, help you realize how much money you have here, how much money you have there, and if you write a check, you know how much you have coming out of your account. So this is what's going to kind of take me over to my visual. If you kind of see, you have the number, date, transaction, withdrawal, credit, and balance. If you ever seen a checkbook registers have this all at the top, the first thing that you need to do is call your bank and make sure that you get a correct balance to start off with. And then every time you use your debit card, write a check, make a deposit, something that you need to keep track of. For instance, let's say you wrote a check for $100 for gas and shell, and you have it's for $100. Subtract it from your balance, which is $1,000. You got $900 left. Vice versa, if you're making a deposit, you leave your number blank. You make your deposit. You add how much your deposit was. In this case, $300, and then you add it to your subtotal from the line before. And it kind of works its way out. Something might do different if you use your debit card. Write DC for check number, so you know it's your debit card, and the amount, so that way you know how much is going in and out. Because a lot of banks today don't take that money out immediately for certain withdrawals. Sometimes it takes like a day or two to go out. According to the Inventory Junkies, the average number of U.S. undating victims is more than 12 million annually. This is also another reason why you should balance your checkbook. You need to reconcile what you have in your records versus what the bank has. You might got a fee from the bank that you weren't aware of because of a balance that you didn't have in your account. You also could have got double charged for something at a grocery store that you wasn't aware of. Or you can have someone out there that's got your debit card number and using your bank account and you weren't even aware of it. One big thing from banking that I've seen since I've been in it is people not having control of their account, swiping their card like they always have money when really they don't. So if they had some kind of record log like this, they would be able to keep better track of it. They'll be able to call their bank on a daily, or not really daily, but on a weekly basis if something was wrong, versus waiting 2 or 3 months after they find a withdrawal in their account that they didn't authorize. Also, another thing that comes into play with balancing a checkbook is a lot of banks start charging now for every little penny that you're over. It's $37 for this, $37 for that. A lot of people's gotten away with banking statements, so they went to e-banking or mobile banking, and that's another way that you can reconcile your accounts to make sure that you're in the good. This can also help you create a budget by looking at your book. You can see what money that you need to cut out that's unnecessary. You'll be able to, like, if you spend a lot of money on food, a lot of money on movies, CDs, or anything like that, then it'll be a way for you to kind of cut it out and put money elsewhere. Let's say if you have extra bills that you need to pay on to get those paid off faster. This would be a way to help you save money in order to pay those debts off quicker, and also help you have more money in the bank account eventually. A lot of people forget about what bills have came out that month, and at the end of the month they're freaking out because they don't have enough money to cover it. This would be one way to make sure that you have those bills covered. Let's see. According to the Go Banking rates, maintaining and keeping track of your checking account is an important step for proper management. That kind of goes over what we just discussed on how if you keep a proper record of what all you're doing, then you'll have something to go against and have something to better keep you online. So far we've covered how to reconcile your bank account, how to save money, make a proper budget. So if there's anything that you can get out of it, I hope that's something that you can get from the speech.